Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. You can call me High Key. Okay? High Key. All right, so tonight we celebrate another moon phase. Okay? This moon phase is the third quarter, right? I think so. Sorry. Third quarter moon. Welcome to April. Welcome to the new year. And I hope that you're feeling new year energy. I know that there's a lot going on in the cosmos, a lot going on planet Earth in the 3D. And we're going to jump in because I have so much to share that I think it's probably good if we just make this like a series. So I would say over the next few moon celebrations, especially on the new moons and full moons, we're going to be manifesting abundance, okay, from the inside out. It always starts from the inside. Your inner world becomes your outer world. Okay, we have the power to do that for ourselves. So as we celebrate this moon phase and prepare ourselves for next week's full moon in Libra, there's just so much going on. Okay, just really quickly, let's just go ahead and ground ourselves. I want to share with you some manifestations and affirmations and all the things, but I do want us to go ahead and ground ourselves and just allow ourselves to reconnect to the earth. So breathe in and breathe out. Again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. If we don't have time to give ourselves a breath, or to take a breath, or to just center ourselves and allow ourselves to be in stillness long enough to reconnect, we're doing ourselves a disservice. With no air, no breath, you're not here, you're not alive. Okay? The Bible says that God blew his breath into us to give us life. When babies come out, they take their first breath here on the 3D plane. So allow yourself to release any frustration, any hesitation, any discontent of allowing yourself to take a moment to breathe. You deserve it. You deserve to love yourself for a minute. You deserve to center yourself, and you deserve to reconnect to your breath. When you start to be more still and reconnecting to your breath, it expands your awareness. It allows ourselves to become more aware of our inner selves and what's going on outside of us. And when things are not in alignment, you tend to pick up on them much more sooner or quicker than in the past. Meditation is a way to open ourselves up, to expand ourselves. Okay? So breathe in and breathe out, and allow yourself to feel the support of Mother Earth beneath you. Feel her stability, her security, and just allow yourself to thank her for always being our source of grounding. The earth represents our root, our foundation, where all things grow, where all things stem from. And with this new spring energy, this is an energy of rebirth, an energy of transformation, blooming, blossoming. Okay? Allow yourselves to reconnect to that energy of blossoming, of blooming, of allowing our roots to become stronger and digging in deeper into the soil, the rich soil of the earth. As she gets nourished with the springtime rain showers, the earth gets more moisture, the ground begins to soften and cultivate and starts to bear fruit. Okay? And allow ourselves to connect to that energy, because there's a strong energy of manifestation right now. And that may not sit well with some people, and I'll explain. But in this moment, allow yourself to reconnect to Mother Earth, giving yourself those 3 deep breaths in and out. And with every exhale, become more and more relaxed, releasing tension, frustration, confusion, and any energy or spirits that are not aligned with our best and highest good. We return them back to the earth to be returned to us as love and light. Okay? We call in our spirit teams connected and closest to the sun to support us as we set the intentions to balance, heal, activate, to ground, to celebrate, and to manifest tonight. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, ancestors of divine love and healing light. Thank you, Mother Earth, for always being our source of grounding. It is done. When you're ready, you can slowly bring your awareness back to the room by fluttering your fingers, wiggling your toes, and slowly opening your eyes. Okay, by the end of this video, I'm going to provide you with some tips to become recession proof. Okay? Recession proof, because we can do it, we deserve it, and yeah. Okay? Yeah. All right. So let me just give you some of the astrological highlights, okay, before we jump into the abundance portion. So, of course, like I mentioned, we're celebrating the 3rd quarter moon. We have a full moon in Libra coming up next week. But we also have Mercury and Venus, who are ending their retrograde cycles. Mercury ends his retrograde cycle on the 7th of April. Venus ends her retrograde cycle on the 12th, the same day as the Libra full moon. The other thing that happens this month is that Mercury moves into Aries. So Mercury's been in retrograde and bouncing between Pisces and Aries, okay? Mercury, the planet of communication, information, intellect. It could definitely be like travel or social media or just travel in general, but it's moving energy, it's moving words, moving information, okay? It's all about intelligence. That energy is shifting into, or that planet is shifting into Aries. Oh no, my light! Tag on it, man. Oh, it must be dying. Oh, jeez. But anyway, Mercury is going to, let's see if I can love on it a bit. Mercury's going to be shifting into Aries, and that energy is going to allow us to feel motivated and driven when it comes to either communicating. It could be intelligence like education. It could also be traveling. So that energy is going to give us a sense to allow our words and information to be more powerful. Okay? That's what, sorry, I don't have, oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to improvise. Let's see. All right, let's see what this does for us. Ooh. We gotta improvise. Ooh, look at that shadow. I like it. We'll figure it out. Okay, so Mercury moves into Aries. And like I said, gives us that. It's just Aries is a sign of action, fire. Okay, fire signs are typically signs that take action. Aries represents, I believe Aries is a cardinal fire sign, but Aries is a go-getter. It takes leadership, not afraid to be the leader. It takes initiative, action-oriented, future-focused. Okay, and so when Mercury shifts into the sign of Aries, that energy is going to be activated. They're going to either help or not help each other, depending on what's happening, depending on where they may show up in your sign, and also depending on what they are in opposition with as far as other planets in the sky at the moment. But just giving you an understanding that will be happening this month on the 15th. So most of this information is for you to really understand that when certain things come up, it's an opportunity for you to make the choice to either align with the energy or to set a boundary with the energy. Okay, we are here to allow ourselves to attract in what's for our best and highest good, and what's not for our best and highest good to be cut out. So if you know that energy is here to serve you, then you know that something that comes in that is not in alignment with that energy is something that you want to set a boundary with. Okay, then on the 17th of April, Mars moves into the sign of Leo. Okay, Mars is an action planet. Mars and Leo is the sun, pride. Leo could also represent like your outer appearance, like who you show yourself to the world to be, like your first impression. Leo is another fire sign, so they probably are the fixed fire. I hope I'm not saying that incorrectly. I guess I could look, but Leo is another fire sign. So there's going to be a lot of urge to take action. Okay, there's going to be a lot of energy and initiative and encouragement to move. Okay, and you could already be feeling that energy now, and I'll dig into that some more later. The sun, of course, will be moving into Taurus on the 19th. Okay, and Taurus season will begin. Then we'll have our first quarter moon on the 20th of April, 420, and that's also Easter Sunday. All right, Lent will be over for me. I did participate, and I think I did pretty good. All right, then what's April 22nd? I don't know. But then we have our new moon in Taurus on the 27th. And last but not least, on the 30th of April, Venus moves into Aries. Okay, so this whole time, Mercury and Venus both have been in retrograde in Pisces and bouncing between Pisces and Aries, as you know, as they appear to be in retrograde from our perspective here on Earth. Okay, so that's what's going on in the sky. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, money. Okay, Venus definitely represents money. And all of these signs, like shifting in from Pisces into Aries, is definitely going to be stirring up that action, that taking initiative, that movement. Even with Mars here moving into Leo, just jam packed with action. Taurus season will be kicking us off, but Taurus is it's an earth sign, very grounded, very structured, like structure. But Taurus also likes beauty, likes things to be attractive as well, but very grounded energy. So just knowing that there's going to be some balance required. You're going to probably want to be taking action in a lot of things, which is great. And I'm going to do my best to guide us in the right way to taking that action. Okay. So I use the Auraline astrology planner, I should say, for 2025. It's my first one, and I love it. And I do have a few messages before I get into the manifestation piece. Okay, so from what I've been seeing or feeling is that there's a general energy of wanting. It could be love, it could be abundance, joy, right? There's a sense of wanting to attract that into our lives, true divine love, and like I said, abundance and joy. Okay, and right now we may be feeling the energy, or we want to move quickly. If you're in a space where everything is, these messages are not always for everyone, and no matter when you read them or listen to them, they are timeless. The message comes to you when it's ready for you, and if it resonates, please let me know. The other thing is, if you're watching this, let me know where you're from. Okay, I'd like to know where people are from. So there is an energy. It could be in the past for a lot of us where we wanted, love and abundance and joy, and maybe something could have happened where it either slowed it up, or something happened where you couldn't focus on it, and now you could be feeling the energy of moving forward to, in that direction, like taking steps towards what you want, taking steps towards that love, towards that abundance and that joy. Okay, which is right in line with what we're going to do. You want to be able to be triumphant in your goals and accomplishments. You want to be able to connect with the frequency of joy, and allow yourself to become an energetic match to abundance. Okay, so that's definitely the energy that's out here. The other thing that I'm seeing is there's a sense where I think, and it could be for masculine and feminine energies. Most feminines, I think, are the ones that have been feeling like, I deserve this great love, I deserve joy, I deserve peace, I deserve prosperity, I deserve to be triumphant, successful, I deserve these things. And so you're probably making moves to connect yourself to attract those things in. But I think that also there's an energy it could still be here to some extent, but it's also kind of moving itself out, where people who may have thought that, I'm just going to make it plain, that another person or third person, or like open relationships, were something that they could do. Sharing was something that they could do. Thinking that they could move around and not really connect. It might be something that's starting to disgust you at this moment. You could be feeling like it's not for you. It can make you feel gross. It can make you kind of sick to your stomach in a way. You could be feeling, that it's not doing anything for you. It's actually probably harming you. It's actually blocking your abundance. Just a whole lot of distractions, nonsense, lustful energy, or just kind of cutting off your best judgment, ignoring your intuition, not listening to your inner self, not listening to the Holy Spirit, the divine higher being inside of you. That's like you're cutting that out. So when people approach you and when I say not attractive, I mean like their spirits aren't attractive, their souls, their energy is not attractive. You're ending that because you're realizing that it's just not where it's at. You're realizing that it's actually probably setting you back. So I think that a lot of people are starting to realize that energy doesn't serve them. That energy, it just doesn't connect anymore. And I mean, it probably never did, but for whatever reason, whatever space we could have been in, it could have been a temporary, sometimes we go into things thinking that we're putting up boundaries around ourselves because we're trying to avoid certain things, but we're really operating from a spirit of fear. We're operating from a place of lack. And this is where I truly believe that we've healed, or we've been healing our codependency wound, or our need for codependence. We step more into our independence and cutting away the people that hold us back. And so now it's like the very last leg, the last phase of healing codependence is releasing the scarcity mindset, the poverty mindset, the spirit of lack. It's like, when you think about it, if you operate from a poverty mindset, you have to be codependent because you probably tie yourself or bind yourself to people thinking that you could lean on them or use them for a boost or to help you or to just make you feel better about yourself. And I'm truly seeing that a lot of us, as we're doing that inner work, we're starting to resonate with what's not serving us and what is. And it's like, now that we know that we can stand on our own, now that we know that we're very independent, we know what we bring to the table, we know who we are, we know what we give, we know our power. It's like, now okay, or even if you haven't achieved it yet, like internally in your spirit, you know what you need to do in order to get you in that position. And so now, in order to really manifest it and bring it to fruition, bring it to the 3D, you're realizing that you have to let go of feeling like you're not deserving of the abundance, the overflow, the triumph, the success. You have to let go of the impoverished mindset, releasing ourselves from lack. And it's programmed in us innately, subconsciously, almost like our whole lives is programmed into us. So now when you start to value yourself, you also start to value the relationships around you. So you're not wasting your time on relationships that are draining, stressful, just aren't going anywhere, haven't gone anywhere. And that's one of the things that I actually heard from Chris Sane, who I've been listening to. And he was given like the 5 wealth killers. And the first one was staying in toxic marriages or relationships with people are wealth killers. And that's truth. I mean, it was other things, of course, but that was the first thing that he said. And even if you're not married to someone, just being around certain energies just can keep you in a low vibration, almost to the point where when you walk away, you feel the heaviness, you feel the draining, you don't feel lighter, you don't feel better, you feel worse. And a lot of times it's not even your energy, right? So, saying all that to say that people are starting to reject the boredom. They're starting to reject doing things or making decisions out of boredom, needing attention, needing that outside validation, another form of codependency, where you need to feel powerful or validated or approval of yourself because of somebody else paying attention to you or giving you their energy, their time. It could even be money, for instance, where now people are starting to make better choices, better decisions that is connecting, or I'm sorry, disconnecting us with those what we do out of boredom, when really we're missing our blessings because we're wasting time on nonsense. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I have here ending, realizing there's no achievement in like just flings. Okay, I'll say that. I ain't mad about anybody who decides to do those things. I do. There's a time and place, I guess, for everything, but there is a shift of people that are starting to realize that just doesn't work for them, or it holds them back. There may be some folks that it works for, but there are folks that are realizing that it's not something that allows them to achieve their goals. Okay, so if you share and it works for you, knock yourself out. If you're into open relationships and it works, polyamory, whatever, and everybody's good and nobody's have to lie, everybody is straight and supportive of each other, great. That's beautiful. Okay, but some of us are disgusted with lowering ourselves to bored relationships. Okay. All right. And then so the future energy is the independence, the contentment, abundance, again, victory, okay, a synonym to success, completion, all right, which is assured success. All right, voyaging, which I was talking about, that traveling energy. So a lot of us could be preparing to travel, whether it be a short trip, a far away trip. Maybe you could be flying away. You could be visiting another country, another continent. It also reminds me, which I'll get into as well, is preparing to, especially if you're in, I'm just going to be honest, for those of us in the United States, I personally think that this is a good time, anyway, for me personally, to have, I don't even know what to call it, basically a plan to be able to get to leave here and be able to live in another country. Just saying. Start to think about that. Start to put things in place so that you could have residence outside of the United States. I'll just leave that there. Okay, so there's no more heartbreak, okay, loss, confusion. Like you're recognizing it right away, and you're either putting endings to it or you're stopping it before it even starts. Okay, manipulation. So you could be also seeing that, and realizing, what you need to maybe call out, or you might be also kind of sitting with it and trying to understand why it's coming towards you and what in our energy makes someone come towards us in that spirit, okay, or to try to engage with us in that way. All right, the other thing that I thought was interesting is that there's this mental, I don't want to say illness, but I think they call it like disquiet, which means like anxiety, anxiousness. There's a uneasiness. There's a lot of folks have been in their heads, possibly confused, which makes sense, possibly feeling lost, which makes sense with that Piscean energy, and the Mercury and Venus being in retrograde in Pisces definitely can give you that kind of delusional kind of energy, like just not being realistic, being kind of in the clouds, um, and just kind of maybe messing with your mind a little bit. And so it's causing there's I think that what's happening, what's being kicked up, like what's starting to show is some of those mental troubles. You could be someone who's gifted enough to see those things. Um, you could be someone who's helping people to work through those type of illnesses or those types of struggles. You could be someone who's starting to own maybe some of the mental health struggles of your own, where you're starting to accept or understand that there is something going on and you're trying to do something about it. Okay? You could be someone who suffers from anxiety, panic attacks. I hope not, but I know that's a real thing. But there's definitely like an exposure of mental frustration, mental fog. Okay, those is starting to come up. We're starting to see it's starting to be exposed where we can probably do something about it. Okay, but if you feeling like there's an undercurrent or undertone where you feel stagnant, like you're not moving in life, okay, these messages probably resonate for you, where you feel like you've just been idle, like running in place or standing still. Okay, that is definitely an energy I think that a lot of people could or have been feeling, and there's a need, a desire, a want to break through that barrier. Even if it's like a mental thing, you're ready to transform, you're ready to do something about it. You're not sitting still anymore. Okay, so what we're going to do is for the next few weeks, I don't know how long it may be, for this entire quarter, April, May, and June. So maybe going into Gemini season, which I think will be great. We got a little bit of Aries now. So that'll be Taurus and then Gemini. Maybe that'll be good. So going into Gemini season, we're going to be focusing on manifestation. And I know that probably may not look appealing, attractive right now, but that's what faith is. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And the best time that I've learned to exercise your faith is when it doesn't look like that's what you should be believing in. Okay, that's when I really know God to truly show up, is when it looks like, how could you even believe that? And I'm not saying to be delusional, but to be delusional in a realistic way, if that makes sense. Balance. Life is about balance over here. Okay, so we are going to call this series Awakening Abundance. All right, and most of this is about gratitude and manifestation. When we can sit and give thanks and be happy and appreciative of what we currently have, it allows us to break out of that lack mindset, that poverty mindset, the spirit of scarcity. Gratitude allows, I'm telling you, gratitude is so powerful. So I challenge you for the next 7 days to, when you wake up, you list out, even literally write it down, say it out of your mouth. I encourage you to say it out of your mouth. Definitely write it down in a journal if you can. What you are thankful for. I want you to truly count your blessings. Count them, literally. Okay? And sometimes those things can be, thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you that I have breath and life in my body. Thank you that I can still see and talk. I still have all my limbs. I'm better than I was yesterday. I have a roof over my head. I am healthy. My children are healthy. I have money in the bank. My bills are paid. My lights are on. My house is warm when I need it to be, and it's cool when I need it to be cool as well. There's so much for us to be thankful for, so we can start to disconnect from what we don't have. That's the power of gratitude. Okay, challenge yourself. It will, the cosmos are working with you, especially with Mercury going direct in Aries. That's going to be energy that will definitely fuel when you start to connect with that vibration and that frequency. All right, Venus going direct is going to do the same thing, allowing us to truly attract love, abundance, beauty, like just allowing us to love ourselves. Whether we want to go and exercise more, we want to run, we want to go to the gym, we want to drink more water, we want to have a lean diet, we want to do more fasting, we want to cut out bread, carbs, sugar, all whatever your heart desires, whatever you have been called to do for yourself, for your health. This is a great time to put action into those things and allow the energy of the cosmos to help you propel forward. Okay? Now, manifesting. So we have to cultivate an abundance consciousness. We have to learn how to connect to abundance. And that's the power of meditation, where you can truly not just center ourselves and connect with the breath and relax and relate and rest. That's beautiful. But the big thing is the visualization piece. It's the power of allowing yourself to see the vision, to connect with the energy and the spirit of the vision that God has put in you. The vision would not be something that you're even capable of seeing if it wasn't something you could achieve. I think Kirk Franklin says, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Or that may be a slogan that's been around for a long time. But we have to learn how to cultivate an abundant consciousness. That means connecting our subconscious to the abundance of the universe, of God, of all that is, the most high, the divine, whatever you want to call them. Okay, that supreme power that created us all and connects us all. Okay, and that's the power of meditation. So what we do when we are cultivating that abundant consciousness, we have to shift our mindset. Gratitude helps us shift our mindset, because what ends up happening is the gratitude helps to break the pattern of that lack, those thoughts of lack or not having or not being enough. And it allows us to identify the issue, right? The spirit of lack. We once you start to be thankful of things, you'll check yourself when you start to complain. When you start to operate from that spirit of lack, you'll start to change your language, which will change your energy, and then you'll start to things in your life will start to come in because you can see things more clearly. You have that power. So once you are doing the gratitude, you can start to identify where the lack is, or how you think in lack, and then your gratitude is challenging it. So when you challenge it, you're changing it. Okay. It's what you start to ask yourself: what is hindering my abundance? What is it that is stopping me and blocking me from attracting growth and wealth? Okay. So I want to give you a few examples of my people here in the DMV, where I've seen us operate from a place of lack. The number one place that it annoys me is insurance, particularly car insurance. Okay. The state of Maryland, you have Maryland tags on your vehicle, you have to have car insurance on that vehicle. If you have allowed your Maryland car insurance to lapse, then Maryland is charging you as long as those tags are not returned to the Motor Vehicle Administration. DMV, we call it the MVA, but same thing. As long as those tags are out, they have to have insurance on them. If you do not return them, you will be fined, okay? Per day. However, our good old state of VA will issue tags to people that don't live inside the state of VA. They could live in Maryland, they can live in DC, and they don't have to have insurance. And oftentimes, they're the ones that are driving reckless and their cars are already beat up and dragging on the ground a lot of times. But I guess some folks are just happy to be riding. I get it. However, when we do things like that, we are already operating from a place of lack. When we make the decision to go into another state because it's easier, cheaper, then we're already sowing the seed of poverty. We're all energetically and spiritually, we're planting a seed that I'm not going to be able to afford insurance. And what do you think that does? Oftentimes, when you don't have insurance, you're probably ducking and dodging things. You see the police, you may be ducking and dodging them. You end up getting into a collision or something. You're freaking out because you don't know what to do because you might be at fault. You may take off. Then after you take off, now you got somebody looking for your tags because you done did a hit and run. Like, I'm going to reach out to the state of VA and I'm going to ask them, are they going to take care of the insurance premiums for people in the state of Maryland and DC who have been in collisions with folks with VA tags that do not have insurance and are most of the time at fault for these types of accidents or for accidents. That's one place that I know that my people operate from a place of lack. Just saying, okay? Fake pay stubs. Fake pay stub says, I don't make enough to afford what I want, so I'm going to go get a fake pay stub to make it appear that I make more so that I can go get this place or this, whatever it is. Usually it appears to be a place to live. I don't know what these rental property or property managers are doing. Y'all got to do better. Like, seriously, like a lot of times it's just a phone call for stuff. Like a reference, who doesn't check a reference, but whatever. But I'm not trying to put people on blast, but I want to expose that is poverty mindset. That is a spirit of lack. That is a scarcity mindset. Those types of moves, okay? Those types of moves. And I understand the point, but I can guarantee you that if you're going into a situation, particularly a lease or a rental agreement, using a fake pay stub, you probably can't afford the rent. That means that you are living above your means. What is that going to do? That's going to put you in poverty. You're going to always be scraping to just keep a roof over your head. We don't want to be house poor. That's something we're breaking from. We're breaking from being, or what do they call it? Maybe it's house rich and cash poor. But basically you are, I call it house poor, where you have a house, but you can't do anything else. Nothing. You can barely pay the utilities. You can't get anything fixed. And if you are someone who desires to own a home, those are the kind of things that mortgage companies will find for you. Your income to debt ratio is very important, okay? They are not going to pre-approve you for a mortgage that you cannot afford based on your W-2s. You're not going in there with fake pay stubs. Promise you, okay? And one thing you have to do on your house, especially if you you're a first-time homeowner, you have to have mortgage insurance. You don't get away from not paying that. That's in the mortgage. It really protects the lender. Doesn't really protect you. Because if you don't pay, the bank is coming to get that house. Promise. Okay? So, and that's something we're gonna be working on too, is like, connecting to the energy of buying a home. Like, I want everyone to know that these are things that you can do. All we have to do is understand discipline and stop trying to get instant gratification. Stop doing things for other people who don't matter. Stop doing things to show off, to get attention. It's all temporary. It crumbles just as quickly as it started because it's not built on solid foundation. And your energy is not on solid foundation. So in order to maintain this thing that you got on bullshit, you got to do all this other bullshit to keep it. It's exhausting. It's even exhausting to talk about and to think about, to me, honestly. Okay. And I'll share my own things. I don't like to, I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm bragging, but I just want people to understand that it's something that they can accomplish. And when you come into alignment, or you start to attract people with a like mindset, then you can manifest things together. Okay? All right. What else? I mentioned staying in toxic relationships. That's another thing that we do from a poverty mindset, is clinging ourselves to someone probably for all the wrong reasons. If it's money, if it's sex, even if it's children. I'm sorry, but we oftentimes have children with people that we probably should have never had children with, but the babies are here. They didn't ask for it. We got to do what we got to do for them. However, don't stay in toxic relationships for our children, because we're teaching our children how to repeat those toxic relationships. Our children are going to learn more about what we do than what we say. Okay? So those are the things that we do when we operate from a scarcity mindset. We bind ourselves to people. I just think one of the worst things you can do is try to trap someone with a child. Men are out here now trying to trap women with children. It blows my mind, but it's happening. Okay, so moving on. I shared that was the last, delivering ourselves from the spirit of lack or poverty or scarcity mindset is it feels like the last stage of healing codependency. And I want to ask you again, do you feel abundant or abundance or lack in your life? Whether it be financially, it could be energetically, it could be spiritually, it could be mentally, emotionally, all the things. Do you feel abundance or lack in your life? Ask yourself that question, okay? And if you want to align with abundance, just remember that fear contracts our energy, okay? And when we are aligning with abundance, we're opening ourselves up to flow. We're opening ourselves up to the present. We're expansive. We're open to expansion. We're open to receive. We're open to attract. And when we're open, things can flow, okay? Things can flow. So fear contracts. It bogs down. It depresses, okay? It puts weight on. It shrinks you. We're here to expand. We're not here for shrinking. So just allow that to sizzle in your spirit, like Country Wayne says. Sizzle in your spirit? I think so. Okay? So, a couple things that we can do to align with abundance is strengthen our intuition. That's where that meditation comes in. We can go even deeper. We can go into hypnotherapy. We can identify and heal our money blocks. Okay? Allow ourselves to identify our limiting beliefs, the things that we believe about ourselves or about people or the planet or society or the government. Taking those beliefs and picking them apart, like literally picking them apart, okay? So that we can clear them. And we can clear them, like I said, through meditation, through visualization, through hypnotherapy, or energy healing, Okay? Energy work. That's what this is. It's spiritual work. All right? Uh Oh, one other thing I want to say is I'm a firm believer in, I have a heart chakra healing. It's an 8-week course. I'm actually going to provide it soon. It should be ready by Gemini season. Um, I'm going to provide it as like a digital download or something like that, where you can go through this 8-week course of reconnecting with your heart chakra and healing or releasing blocks in your heart, because I truly believe that our heart, or like blocking and closing off our heart, blocks our abundance. Because in order for you to attract abundance, you have to be connected with all of you. No part of you can be hardened. No part of you can be blocked or disconnected or closed off. Your entire self has to be opened and balanced, right? And if we have hardened our hearts, we're closed off. So how can you get the abundance to your heart if it's blocked? Okay? And a lot of times, a lot of you have probably witnessed this, where you've either missed a blessing. Some people may say if it's for you, it doesn't miss you. I kind of disagree with that. I think that a lot of things happen outside of God's perfect plan for us. We do have free will, and sometimes we could have chosen sooner, and it could have been a greater blessing. Doesn't mean we didn't get the blessing, it just could have been greater. But that's neither here nor there. But I do have a heart chakra healing, and it teaches you how to reconnect with that heart space, how to open it up, to break it open. And that's a lot of times what happens, is that God can sometimes allow our hearts to be broken to perfect our vision, or to correct our vision. Sometimes we can see, like, they say love is blind. So sometimes you can not be seeing clearly. And let me just remind everybody, love did not hurt us. The lack of it did. Okay? We got to a point where the love ran out in certain situations, certain relationships. It doesn't always have to be romantic. It could be family, it could be friendships. But we got to a point where the love it ran out. That person couldn't meet us anymore at the level of love that we needed, or we couldn't provide the love that somebody needed anymore. Okay? So that heart chakra healing will allow us to release blockages with receiving love, receiving support, receiving abundance. Okay? That's what it will allow us to do, is to allow ourselves to reconnect with feeling deserving, releasing feeling undeserving, needing that codependent relationship or person or attention, running to social media because you are depressed and you just need somebody to dump your crap on. Like, literally, that's what people are doing these days in the bedroom, dumping their stuff on people. It's gross. It's gross. So when you count your blessings, literally write them down, say them out loud. I want you to also say this: I deserve to be rich. Okay? I want you to say, I release fears of financial lack and embrace abundance in all forms. Okay? And I want you to also say, while I am sleeping, money fills my bank account. All right? I deserve to be rich. I release fears of financial lack and embrace abundance in all forms. And while I am sleeping, money fills my bank account. And I'm going to tell you how. So what I want everybody to do, I want you to go into your phone, go onto your laptop, your computer, but I want you to open up a brokerage account. Okay? You can go look up top 10 brokerage accounts. Some of them have been around a while. They have they're very, what do you call it? Like very reputable, very respectful, been around for a long time, very solid companies. I personally started with an E-Trade account. I still have my E-Trade account, but you can do there's Fidelity, there's Charles Schwab, I think there's JP Morgan. There's a bunch of those old school, been around, holding it down, ain't going nowhere kind of companies you can open up a brokerage account with. I suggest one of them because of the level of security and protection and insurance that they carry. I think they're pretty solid when it comes to that. The only thing I would say about E-Trade, and maybe I just haven't mastered it yet, but E-Trade does not allow you to buy fractional shares. You have to buy whole shares of stock, and we'll get into that. But right now, I want you to set up a brokerage account, because to get those accounts set up, it takes a few days. It takes a few days for them to verify information, and sometimes it can happen pretty quickly, but I think they tell you to allow them 3 business days. Okay, so go do that. Okay, do that somewhere solid on a computer you can trust. Try not to do that on your phone if you're using like I said, an E-Trade, a Charles Schwab. Try to do those on a stationary computer. And then I want you to also possibly do an online or app-based. So if you have a Cash App, I know some folks don't like Cash App. I personally don't have too many. I've never had really issues with it, thank God. But you can trade on Cash App. It's very easy, very user-friendly, I've found, and you can buy fractional shares, okay? You can also, there's Robinhood. I also have Robinhood. I don't use it as much, but I've been using it more lately. There's another one called Webull. There's a bunch of those types where they're app-based, mobile app-based. And they all have their different little nuances and things like that. Maybe what they charge to do transactions, or the amount before they charge to do a transaction, that kind of thing. But the goal is for you to have at least, I say at least one of each. One of the E-Trade, Fidelity, Schwab kind of vibe trade or brokerage accounts, and at least one of the Cash App or Robinhood, Webull. Yeah, okay? Have at least one. And then I want you to transfer funds to it. And it can be what you want, okay? Now, I know this is what I'll say. I know that our market has been going down in flames. But this is a great time to enter the market, okay? And as we move forward, I'm going to be sharing more and more of things that I'm seeing, things that I'm learning, things that I've done, things that I have gained on, so that we can get people to understand that I think Chris Sane says, when there's blood in the street, we eat. When they sleep, we eat. And I want you to know that years ago, when I first bought my condo, I prayed to God that when the market shifted, I wanted to be on the side of the market where it was most profitable. If it was a buyer's market, I wanted to be a buyer. If it was a seller's market, I wanted to be a seller. I'll probably never sell, but I wanted it to still be something that worked for me, even though I've realized that there's not really such thing as a buyer's or seller's market. However, I do understand why that is as well. But saying all that to say, not only did he do that for me, but he did it for me not just in my personal life with my homes, but he's done it for me even in the last 2 companies I've worked for. For instance, during the pandemic, a lot of folks were at home. Some people weren't working, losing their jobs, or work had slowed up, especially in hospitality and things like that. I was working. Now, granted, I was able to work from home more, but my clients we're good. We don't need to stop anything. As long as you all are following protocols and you stay in the house when they tell us to stay in the house, we're going to continue to build. And we did. Okay. But I found a lot of peace. And I know that that was a time that was really, really hard for a lot of people in the world. And millions of people lost their lives that year, or just continue, over and over again for a while. And I was able to find a sense of peace that I refused to let go of. And I'm pretty sure that that sense of peace, I knew that there was a shift happening at that moment, but I also realized that that sense of peace allowed me to connect with the level of abundance that I probably didn't even realize was coming into my life. Okay. And I can share with you a stock. I can share with you my spiritual practices that I had, enhanced and started to do more of. All the things that were happening, and then how it was starting to show up and come to fruition in the forms of love and money and all of the things. Okay. So open your brokerage account and set up a transfer. Okay, that transfer, it can be $75. I say that's the minimum. If you could put $75 in each account, that would be great. But if you can maybe put 25 in one and 50 in the other, or maybe you can do like 35 and 35, or 40 and 40, or 40, whatever, just whatever. If you can only do 75, I get it. Okay, even if it's only $50. But if you could do 2 G's, that would be fantastic. Maybe you can put one in one account and one in the 1,000 in the other. And then after you get your transfers, just something you're comfortable with. Do not put do not put money that you're going to need. This is something you should be doing with spare change. Okay. And if it's hard to come by spare change, you let me know, because that's something that we definitely have to break. That means that something is upside down and the numbers are not mathing. The numbers are not making sense, because numbers don't lie. Okay. So if you are having a hard time with spare change, think about what you can not do. Okay, what can I avoid and take this $25? Maybe I don't go buy fast food tonight. Maybe I don't go buy a bottle. Maybe I don't go buy a bag. Maybe I stay in the house so I don't have to go burn up gas money. Like something that you can just sacrifice, that you would still spend, but you're just going to put it in a different place. We're not here to drain your pockets or make you go broke, because some of these things don't really give a return very quickly. Okay, we are not here with get rich quick schemes. Although things can happen quickly, we're not here for that. We're here to put money in a place where we can double it, triple it, or flip it. Okay. Well, I guess that's doubling it, but we can basically gain 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, or maybe even 100% of our money back. Okay, in a short time, where ain't nobody else, ain't no bank doing that for us. All right. So that's what I want you to do. Let me know when you do that. All right. So then once you get your transfer, like I said, it's going to take a couple days for that to process and everything. I want you to go and add these tickers. Okay, the ticker is the acronym or the letters of a particular stock. I want you to add these to your watch list. Your watch list. On all of these platforms, you can add certain either companies, indices, or ETFs to your watch list. Okay. So this is what I want you to add these folks to your watch list. Add SPY. Okay, looks like SPY. SPY. That is the S&P 500 ETF. All right. It has a group. An ETF usually is a certain type of fund, and they are typically a certain market sector, like technology, or I don't know what else, but that kind of thing. Okay. So add SPY. I'd like you to also add Tesla. Okay. So SPY is SPY, obviously. And then Tesla is TSLA. Okay. Just add them to your watch list. You can add Apple. Apple is AAPL. Definitely add Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is going to show up as crypto. Okay, it's not going to show up as a stock or ETF. It's going to show up as cryptocurrency. So it may be in a different place. So if you type it in, it should pop up. And Bitcoin is BTC. Okay, add that to your watch list. I also would like you to add Microsoft, MSFT. Okay, Microsoft. NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA. I want you to add NVIDIA, which is NVDA. NVIDIA. Everything, take out the vowels, that, well, at least the I's. Who else? There's so many, but I'm trying to give you about 10. You can also add QQQ. Okay, Investco, QQQ. You can add Vanguard, VOO. That's Vanguard. Add Netflix, NFLX is Netflix. NFLX. Hopefully I said that. I want you to add another company called TSM. TSM. Add them to your watch list. And 2 more. Meta, META, formerly Facebook, and Amazon. Okay, Amazon is AMZN. I don't know if that was 10 or not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Add all those to your watch list. All right. And when we celebrate the next moon cycle, we're going to start to position ourselves to invest in the market. When the market is going down like this, it's a great time to buy. Okay. And one of the things that you're going to break out of is that poverty mindset by thinking that you're not going to have enough, and you're going to detach from putting in too much and looking for a quick return or instant gratification. Okay. And you're going to also be able to learn something about the stock market, where whether it goes up or down, we can still gain, we can still make money. All right. So that's all I have for tonight on that. I'm going to pull us a Moonology card because that's what we do. And I'm just so happy. I am so freaking happy. I'm telling you, we are manifesting wealth over here, y'all, okay? I don't care what's going on out there. That's not what's going on over here, period. I don't care what's going on out there. That's not what's going on over here. Point blank, period. All right? If you know that you are a child of the Most High and you are out here doing what you're supposed to do, doing your best, you're not out here looking for a handout. You're not out here using people, robbing people. You're not out here taking from anyone. And not just tangible things. I'm talking about robbing people spiritually, hurting people, doing people wrong. Did y'all see that? Something looked like it flipped. Maybe not. Okay. You deserve, you deserve to be rich. That's actually Earn Your Leisure's. They have a book. Troy and Rashad have a book called I Deserve to Be Rich. I'm going to read it. I haven't read it, so I don't want to give too much, but I know that I love that as an affirmation. And affirmations are just small prayers to me. They're prayers. That's what they are. That's what a prayer is. But I wanted you to know, like, there's also a scripture that says, if we can't be trusted with a little, then we can't be trusted with a lot. And we have to show ourselves approved to God. So we have to be able to show him that we can handle the little things. That's why I want you to make sure that you're counting your blessings. Because when we're showing him that we're thankful and we know what to do, what he has given us, then that means that he can open the door for more. All right. If it's going to turn you into a nasty person for you to have money, and you're a child of the Most High, Because some folk ain't, okay? Just saying. Some folk ain't. So, all right. Expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. Okay? Look at that. And we coming off of these eclipses, y'all. I don't know how I forgot to mention that. But a lot of that BS got closed out. I mentioned completion when I was talking about the messages that I had received. Listen. A lot of that stuff, that's why people are getting turned off from the stuff that don't matter. Like, be aware of the distractions, the things that just get you operating out of fear. And then you over here throwing your life away for absolutely nothing. I'll be quiet. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Oh my goodness. We got the new moon and the full moon eclipse. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, we tapped in over here, y'all. And I'm not just saying that just to be saying that. Like, I trust mine. I really do. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Two more. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. This one came out recently as well. Okay. And then your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. And doesn't that look like, I mean, it's a new moon, but it kind of gives you like an eclipse vibe. So we got, I don't know what color you can say that is. It's got a little bit of brown looking out here. Little purple, a little bit of orange. Maybe some crown. Oh, look, you are good enough. Once again, this keeps coming out. On the bottom of the deck, full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. Card is green. That's that heart chakra, like that undertone of that heart. But there's definitely a crown chakra activation, awakening. There's also that sacral and solar plexus stimulation. We also have 2 Capricorn cards out here. Okay. So, although Capricorn season could be relative to a new year here in, with this Gregorian calendar or this earthly stuff that we're doing, but that energy of that new year, I kind of get from this full moon and new moon in Capricorn. So continue to stay in routine, continue to work the earth, work hard, and allow what is no longer serving you to clear out. Allow it to end. Allow yourself to connect with your abundance, okay? What's going to elevate you. Releasing and letting go of what's holding you back. Okay, I'm going to read these. I guess I'll read them all. Hopefully we have time. Expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. $94. I'll also read the full moon eclipse since that came out third. And they're right beside each other. Okay. Expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work. But be prepared. It could be quite a ride, and events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you were or are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. You're being put back on the right path. There is nothing to fear. Attune to the moon. Never mind the past. Life evolves every single day. Additional meanings? Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. You're being shunted towards your life purpose. Whatever is happening now is happening for your highest good. This is an important turning point in your life. The teaching. New moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events. They herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego, and then here comes the divine, the goddess or spirit, to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go. Regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card, it's a powerful affirmation of positive turnarounds. Full moon eclipse. I'm sorry, I didn't hold the card up. I mean, I did, but I didn't. So I'll hold this one up while I read. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Full moon eclipse. And just like that, a door slams shut. If you've pulled this card, it suggests that the situation you're asking about is about to reach a peak or has just done so. And things are now out of your hands. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for. A way for you to learn and for your soul to evolve. So allow events to unfold and be easy on yourself. If you're letting go of someone or something, know that it's the right time, as hard as it might be. Forgiving someone for what they did could be key to resolving the situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. Attuned to the moon. That which is meant for me will not pass me by. Additional meanings. Doors which slam shut now will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are all recommended now. Hope I didn't butcher those. Seed control and let events unfold. The teaching. Full moons are nearly always about climaxes and very often about conclusions. Full moon eclipses are the same, but on steroids. A full moon eclipse can be hard to handle because it portends change, something many of us are uncomfortable with. But change is a part of life, and this card, no matter when you pull it, reminds you of that fact. Full moon eclipses can also give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung called the shadow self. Work with your darkness. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Can't really, my light is blinding it. Okay. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold and progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship, you are being too aloof or detached maybe. Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Attune to the moon. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Additional meanings. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. The teaching. Every full moon is a time to release and let go. But the addition of Aquarian energy to the mix triples that message. Aquarius is the opposite of clingy, and pulling this card at any time suggests either you need to let go or someone is thinking they are the ones who need to let go, perhaps of you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. Ow! Let's read Your Hard Work is Paying Off, because I've read this, your end of a tough cycle approaches, but we'll come back to it. So new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. First and foremost, this card suggests a new start for you professionally. Whatever has been going on in your work life, this card heralds the start of a new and improved work cycle. If you're unhappy in your current job, this is the time to either renegotiate your position or look for something new. Whatever your question, whether work-related or otherwise, a new plan and strategy is called for. You need to take a look at the long term and think about where you want to be in 12 months or even 5 years' time. This will inform your best course of action now. So think seriously about it. Drawing this card suggests it's a time for you to be ambitious about whatever it is you want to achieve. Lay it down. Attune to the moon. Make a proper plan and execute it well. Additional meanings: you need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work will make your dreams a reality. A very good omen for study or teaching. Don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who is controlling. The teaching. Capricorn is the sign of ambition, building, and hard work. The energy is solid and rigid. The new moon in Capricorn is a powerful lunation that comes towards the end of each year and marks arguably the best moment annually to make a list of your hopes, dreams, ambitions, and intentions for the year ahead. Pulling this card at any time suggests that with planning and discipline, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. I love this. Like, we're getting the new moon, the new year energy with these Capricorn cards. I love the blending of it all. Like, if you know, you know what I mean? Like, to have both of these cards pop out and to have that message of that new beginning, so reminding us even in this time to make a list like you would do, quote unquote, at the new year. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Show the world full moon in Capricorn. Here we go. The end of a tough cycle approaches. How about that? Okay. Full moon in Capricorn. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will be helpful. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. Attune to the moon. Release control and trust the universe. Additional meanings: a professional project may be ending now. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private lives. It's time to stop fearing the worst. The teaching. The full moon in Capricorn has a very strong work ethic and energy, and will more than likely come up when you're asking a professional question. If your question is about another matter, it will serve as a much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may have been feeling about your situation, and this applies no matter when you draw the card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time. Listen, this was fantastical. I'm kind of blown away at how it tied in everything as far as like the professional changes, balancing out that personal and professional, which I think is connecting to like the energy of people feeling stagnant, maybe that spirit of lack. You may be realizing that you want to step more into your purpose, and maybe your job could be holding you back, but don't despise your 9 to 5, okay? We can work on our dreams from 6 to 10. So continue to do what pays your bills until your dreams start to pay your bills. We got to start where we are, okay? But expect powerful change. Expect the unexpected, Okay, really know that that eclipse energy has served us and served us well. Okay, both of them, new moon and full moon eclipses, have done exactly what they came to do: clear shit out that is in the fucking way. Always go within so you never go without. I love you, but God loves you more. And let's stay connected to the one that sits high, looks low, and sees everything. Good night.